Welcome and thank you for joining this great occasion of the Richmond Hacienda virtual groundbreaking. This has been a long, hard journey, but it took the players that we have today that put this all together, and we got together a good team of public-private partnerships, and actually a mix of different service providers that are work together. It's my first time joint venturing with Doug Shoemaker. We've known each other in the field for a long time, and we're happy that we have a chance to actually work on a project, a significant project like this that we have. And Doug is the president of Mercy Housing. I'm the executive director of Community Housing Development Corporation, who are working to get this project along with some of our partners that you will hear from. And without any further ado, and I would like to introduce one of the strong players in making this project happen, Mayor Butt. We want to welcome our first speaker, who is him, who has been very instrumental player in pushing the Hacienda project forward. His commitment to helping to create affordable senior housing through endeavors such as the Hacienda project has been one of his top priorities throughout his term as mayor. Mayor Butt has emphasized the need to identify opportunities to rehab properties throughout Richmond. He took this very personal commitment in getting this project and where we are today. And it represents a step forward for the city of Richmond. This showcases his belief that Richmond can provide a range of affordable housing as this project represents. We look forward to working with Mayor Butt on future affordable housing projects in Richmond, and we appreciate his support. Let's welcome Mayor Tom Butt.
We can't hear you, Tom.
While we waiting for Tom, we will come back to Tom and we will move right to our next speaker. And I'd like to introduce to you the Supervisor John Joy of Contra Costa County. He is a longstanding champion of affordable housing and social justice in Richmond and West Contra Costa County, and has been a member of the Contra Costa County Board of Supervisors since 1998. Growing up in Richmond, Supervisor Joya has worked tirelessly to advocate as a recognized leader and voice for the community. Supervisor Joya has successfully built coalitions to address such issues such as affordable housing, homelessness, violence prevention, environmental justice, access to healthcare and public transportation, air and water quality, community restoration, and expanding opportunities for youth. Supervisor Joya has shown a commitment to his promise of a safer economy, which includes affordable housing for seniors, having a safer community, which includes strong services for the Richmond area, and a green county, which includes sustainable and renewable energy. The Hacienda project incorporates all these vital goals, and we appreciate Supervisor Joya's commitment to the transformative change which has improved the quality of life for the residents that he serves. We welcome Supervisor John Joya.
Thanks, Don, and thank you for your great leadership over the years, and really not just working on housing issues, but really working on community building, because that's what this project is really about. It's about community building. It's about showing respect and dignity for those that are most vulnerable, for people who were previously homeless, and for our seniors. And I can't think of a better, public, private, nonprofit partnership than this project. And having Mercy Housing, which is also a great nonprofit housing developer, and CHDC work together on this project is really a dream. And it shouldn't have to take funding from federal and state and local government to make these projects work, but that's what it takes. And we welcome all this funding, but we all know, and you all know this, you work so hard on these types of projects. It takes so much to piece together all of this funding to make these projects work. We all wish and hope and advocate for funding sources that would be readily available and larger to be able to build more of these projects. Because we are not going to get out of our affordable housing crisis or our homelessness crisis unless we build quickly more projects like this. So this is really historic and landmark. Richmond really committed to taking the Hacienda project and investing with others substantial funding and resources and time to make this project work. And I'm proud that county CDBG home funding was awarded for this project, and that housing and housing vouchers from our own Contra Costa Housing Authority are part of this. And we're committed to continuing to work, with Richmond on these types of projects. You mentioned, and I know Tom will talk about this, the green nature of the project, but also I really want to acknowledge the very strong supportive services that are part of this project. It's because it's not just providing a roof over people's head, it's providing actual life skill services and support to make residents who live there more successful and more able to contribute to their community. And so I know when a project like this breaks ground, we look for it to be completed as quickly as possible because the need is great. And I just really, again, want to acknowledge the leadership in the city to take this on, to partner. I'm glad that the county was able to be a financial partner, and also that the nonprofit housing developers who really have such a track record at these projects understand what it takes to put this together. But I think we should all be committed to make these projects easier to happen, and really want to thank everybody for being involved on this effort. We're proud to be part of it.
Thank you, John. Let's see if we can connect with the mayor.
How am I doing? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Okay. All right. I bring you greetings from the big island of Hawaii, and internet access is a little iffy where I am. But as Don said, this is very personal for me. I want to hark back about 7 years ago when the Hacienda, the original roof that was installed in 1966, had given up the ghost. The entire top floor had been abandoned because of leaks. And the Richmond Housing Authority simply did not have the resources to maintain the property in a way that was necessary. So I took office as mayor in January of 2015, and about the first thing I did was go to Washington, D.C. and meet with Congressman DeSaulnier with HUD and secure the vouchers we needed to get the 150 residents moved into alternate locations so that we could start on this long road toward rehabilitation. And we were successful in doing that. And so here we are 7 years later. We've got great partners in the city. Otherwise, in the city, I think Nanette Beecham is here, and Shasa Curl. Of course, Don Kilmore with CHDC, Mercy Housing, and most importantly, HUD. I see Gerard is here. So, together we pulled this off, and it took a long time, but we're here. And this is going to be very exciting. We're looking forward to opening this up in about the year 2022. And it's a great team. It's been a long road, but I'm just so excited that we're finally here, and I'm gonna be over there frequently with my hard hat on, checking on construction. So let's get it right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Butt. Yeah, to not to put it lightly, but I know the trips that you made to DC and trying to make sure this project got recognized for what it needed, and thank you for that. Now I want to go to another big player in this, Lynette Beecham. You know, she joined the city of Richmond during turmoil and hit the ground running with a vision and passion, and that is the City of Richmond's Housing Authority Executive Director. Her expertise in affordable housing has strengthened and actually stabilized that portion of the city operations. She has played a pivotal role in Hacienda Heights project, and we look forward to ongoing partnerships with Lynette and the city. And we have a number of different projects that we're working on together, and we look forward to successes such as this. So Lynette.
Thank you, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
So welcome, welcome. We're finally here. Oh my gosh, it's been a journey. First, I want to thank all of the city departments, especially Mayor Butt, for leading the charge and getting this project underway and to where it is now. The city manager's office, including Shasa Curl and Gabino, they hit the ground running when the residents were relocated back in 2016. And we had a number of bumps and challenges, but we're here 6 years later. What is really important is that the city didn't let this project go astray. They kept it going. They cared about the community. They cared about the safety of residents around this building because it's been vacant, and a shelter for homeless people, for a potential shelter for homeless people for a number of years, and they just wouldn't let it go. Thank you for the partnership with Mercy Housing and CHDC, HUD for staying involved and being our champion with the people in Washington, DC and other areas that don't really understand what's going on in the city of Richmond and the need for affordable housing. I thank the Housing Authority of Contra Costa for stepping in and accepting the challenge of administrating the Housing Choice Voucher Program for this particular project and other projects in the future that we're going to have in Richmond. The city, again, has supported this project financially since there hasn't been any HUD subsidy for a number of years. So thank you again. Thank you again. We look forward to our continued partnership. The Richmond Housing Authority is not going to go away once this project has been redeveloped. We are excited, and we will be visiting and continue to be involved with the residents that return and the new residents of Hacienda. So thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Director Beecham. Appreciate all the support. As Don said earlier, there's just so many people without whom this project would not have been able to move forward, and Richmond Housing Authority first in line in that list. We also really appreciate the partnership between local government and HUD. We're here and joined today by Gerard Wint, who's the director of the HUD Office of Public and Indian Housing. And Gerard covers Northern California as well as Nevada. And so with that, I would like to introduce Gerard for some comments.
Thank you very much, Doug. That's very kind. I'll be fairly brief. Number one, we are so excited to be a part of Hacienda. Affordable housing is a nationwide challenge, and HUD is so pleased that Richmond is moving forward on this Hacienda project. As many of you know in the industry, affordable housing does more than fulfill a basic need for shelter. It also contributes to the well-being of families in the community. Also, decent, affordable housing reduces stress, toxins, and infectious disease, which leads to improvements in both physical and mental health. As a partner with the Housing Authority, HUD is pleased to be a part of the success at Hacienda. Many people have been instrumental in our getting to this momentous day. I would like to share a few thank yous and congratulations to individuals who have assisted in the project. First, I'd like to thank Mayor Tom Butt on his leadership and commitment to making this project happen. I'd also like to thank all of the City of Richmond and Housing Authority board and staff who have been instrumental in the Hacienda project. Second, I'd like to thank Joseph Villarreal, who is the Executive Director of the Contra Costa Housing Authority, for the authority's commitment to providing project-based vouchers at Hacienda, and for the successful operation of a Section 8 program that will support those vouchers. I'd like to also thank HUD leadership for providing the funding for technical assistance contracts. These contracts are assisting Richmond Housing Authority reposition their entire portfolio, including Hacienda. And specifically, I'd like to thank Mike Andrews, who has been a repositioning consultant for Richmond. His guidance and technical expertise were critical to the success of the Hacienda project. And lastly, I'd like to thank the HUD public housing staff in San Francisco, who provided guidance and support to Housing Authority and city staff. Thank you, Ben Palmer, Michael Kaitner, and Trevor Alson. I'm pleased to be part of this celebration today at Hacienda and look forward to many more public housing repositioning successes in Richmond. Again, congratulations to the Richmond and to the Hacienda team. Thank you very much.
Thank you for those words. I'd like to also, the dynamic staff that both Mercy put together along with CHDC to work through this project. Norma Thompson was our lead person, and Joanna Griffin is the Director of Real Estate Development, and her team that she had working with her, Tanya, and the rest of the group did a great job. I want to also thank my board. I'm not sure who all is present, but they've done a great job with us. Joseph Villarreal is our board president. He actually helped in a lot of improvements throughout the city of Richmond. And then we have some longtime Richmond residents on the board, and we would do them more and just acknowledging all of them, because I'm going to miss somebody if I call them all out. But right now, let's hear from one of our residents, Maxine Griffin, who has been living at Community Heritage, one of our projects, for over 7 years. As we listen to Ms. Griffin, who is a lifelong resident of the city of Richmond, she underscores the importance of communities that cater to our senior population, and the same sense of family that is instilled in our residents. This is the same sense of family and community we are building at the Hacienda Heights.
My name is Maxine Griffin. My age is 71. I've been here 7 years in March. Oh, I've been in Richmond all my life. We was born down the street in Silver, and all my family was here, but they all moved away. I chose to stay here, come here to live in Community Heritage, and I'm doing fine. I usually sew, and since the COVID's down, we used to come in here and have a meeting, and we'd talk about different stuff they want to do. And I usually walk around the building. They got 3 floors, and we'll go from the top to the bottom. And then plus we got a garden back there, do garden and flowers and stuff. And they have a food drive and come down here and get food. I'm also a birthday person, that we do birthdays for the different residents. There's a lot of seniors here that don't get recognized at their birthday. They say, "Oh, you remember my birthday?" I say, "Yeah." Yeah, we decorate the hall and have Christmas, Thanksgiving. To be healthy, keep my strength up. Yeah, that's the main thing, is taking care of your body. Because once you get older, everything wakes up. Yeah, it's like a house, a family. We're like a family in here. And I'm quite sure everybody else say the same thing, so it's a nice little place.
Great. Thanks, Don, for sharing that. Appreciate it. It's always good to see what the end result looks like in terms of people living good lives in these buildings. I also, just on behalf of Mercy, want to offer my thanks again also to Supervisor Joya and Mayor Butt and the rest of the city council. It's been a real pleasure and honor to be able to partner with CHDC. As Don said, we've known each other since I was too young to mention, but Don's being very gracious. So in any event, it's been a wonderful process. I want to call out a few other names: Tony Yusufari, who we knew for many years at the Contra Costa Housing Authority, Shasa, Gabino, Thomas. I mentioned Nanette earlier, just a great team to be working with. This project has definitely seen its shares of resuscitations over the years. I think we can count a number of times where we thought there was just no way it was going to move forward, and made it somehow forward through all of the partnership on the call today. Some of that credit goes to everybody here. I also want to just call out Michael Kaplan, who's been Mercy Housing's project manager on this for a long time. He actually took a sabbatical and came back, and the project was still waiting for him to move forward, as an indication of just how long it's taken to move this. We really, I think, hit a point a few years ago where we were really stuck in terms of financing sources for this deal. And as sometimes happens, a miracle of sorts occurred for us. We were approached by George Arguris, who's on the call, from Perella Braun and Martel, who's been a long time counsel to Mercy Housing on lots of things, and friend and ally. And our good friend Steve Vettel introduced us to George, and George in turn was stewarding a very significant gift in honor of senior housing here in the Bay Area. And I'll let George tell you the rest, but I will just say that were it not for the contribution of the Betty Poyes Ferguson Foundation, we might still be looking around for all the resources to make this project move forward. So the $7 million that's going into this project from that private foundation is really a massive reason why we were able to move this forward today. So with that, I want to introduce a friend and an ally, George Arguris.
Oh, thank you, Doug. Well, let me first say it's been a pleasure to team up with Doug and Barbara and Sashi over at Mercy. Again, I'm just the custodian of these funds. My late partner, Barlow Ferguson, and his wife, Betty Poyes Ferguson, who have passed away, left this fund with somewhat of a direction to focus on housing for the elderly and homeless and low income. And so the money was to be used for the building of a building. And but sort of time got away from them, and the funds were insufficient to build our own building. And hearing what I'm hearing today, and the state and the federal and the local and all the agencies, we quickly learned that we're not in that business. So we looked to partner, and we interviewed a number of very worthy nonprofit housing developers, and we couldn't say enough about Mercy. And Mercy brought to us a few projects, and we have now teamed up with them on 4 projects. And this is actually the second one to really get off the ground. And we're so proud to be part of this, and the teamwork and what Doug brings to the table in sort of herding everybody together. And we're very excited, and we can't wait to see the results. And we just are proud to be part of the team.
Thanks very much, George. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate all the partnership. And I know I can speak for everybody on the call by saying, like, we're thrilled that this money is coming to Richmond, and it couldn't be going to a better place. So thank you for making that gift. And I could just say, so George isn't supposed to say this sort of thing, but Hacienda has always been the favorite project that we brought him. He said that over and over again.
Yeah,
I know you're supposed to love all your children the same, but George particularly loves the Richmond Hacienda project. So I think I can say that, George, right? No one's going to be sad at home.
You can safely say that, yes.
All right, great. Well, so you can join Mayor Butt out there with his hard hat anytime you want. I'm sure he'll be happy to have you, and anybody else out there on the site. So I hope it's
I'll
okay,
take you
Mayor.
up on
I'm
that.
volunteering you a sidecar partner there to visit the site. Okay. Next up, we have, for folks that have been through these before, one of the main ways that we finance affordable housing, sort of the backbone of a lot of affordable housing development in the United States, is this somewhat arcane tool called the Low Income Housing Tax Credit. It takes a lot of folks to move these particular transactions forward. And we really, over the years, have relied a lot on Enterprise Community Partners, which is a phenomenal intermediary that does great work in this arena. We've partnered for many years with them, in part because of the tremendous leadership that Philip Porter brings to the team. Philip has been Vice President for Acquisitions at Enterprise, which really means he puts together the financing for these low-income housing tax credit deals. He is a bit of a wizard. I've been in the field for 25 years, and if Philip talks to me too long about the low-income housing tax credit details, he loses even me. So, but the end result is phenomenal. And Philip is really a star in the field of affordable housing and a longtime partner of Mercy Housing. And so with that, I want to introduce Philip Porter from Enterprise Housing Credit Investments.
Thank you very much, Doug. I appreciate that introduction. So Enterprise is investing just over $33 million in this development on behalf of one of our major corporate investors. And our role is actually fairly limited. The real work is done by the development team, CHDC and Mercy, and really all the public funders. Hearing Doug talk about the challenges that this development has faced over the years brought back to mind a little vignette from when I worked with a developer before I came to Enterprise. And I was working on a particularly challenging deal. I ran into a roadblock and I went to the ownership, the lead developer, and I, was complaining about this problem. And he said, Philip, every good deal dies 3 times. Otherwise, someone else would have done it. So go work on it and come back with a solution for me. So anyway, that taught me, that was like, ground zero for the challenges that developers face, because there's always something, there's always a problem. But, I feel very strongly about my work with Enterprise. It really allows us to partner with sponsors who take the affordable housing mission seriously. And in this case, this development will serve 148 senior households with rental subsidy and services. And really, it's a very wonderful example of what the Enterprise mission is, which is to make home and community places of pride, power, and belonging, and platforms for resilience and upward mobility. So very much like some of the other folks have said, this is really an exemplary development, and we couldn't be happier to participate. So thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Philip. Really appreciate the partnership. I think, every time we get to open one of these buildings, I do think that, of what you just said, that they all die a few times. It all looks great in the end, but the process along the way has been rather intense. So this one may be a little bit more intense than most. So we appreciate your partnership on it and everybody else's patience in trying to make this move forward. Last but not least, I want to introduce James Wasugi, who's the Vice President of Community Development Banking at JP Morgan Chase and Company. James has worked there for over 7 years. He's done a lot of work recently with us on lots of different issues. When it comes to banking really difficult projects and making things like this move forward, we often turn to Chase because they are so good at financing affordable housing, but particularly projects that are sometimes hard for others to pull off. And so with that, I want to introduce James and again, thank the bank for its tremendous partnership. James.
Thanks, Doug. Very much appreciate that. And hello, everyone. And George, I'm with you. I love this project too. This is an awesome project and I am totally in love with it too. It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here today and to be providing the construction and permanent financing for what will truly be an absolutely remarkable and inspirational community for seniors in Richmond. Mercy Housing and Community Housing Development Corporation have put their heart and soul into this community for so many years. I think we're at a decade now. and with the details they've included in the project, like relocating the entrance so the seniors have less distance to walk to public transit. They're truly transforming this, in Richmond. Chase would like to thank our partner, Morgan Stanley, who is participating in the construction loan with us, and Enterprise, who has worked so hard with Morgan Stanley on the investor side. We'd like to thank the City of Richmond, the Richmond Housing Authority, Contra Costa County and the Housing Authority of Contra Costa County, the California Department of Housing and Community Development, the Betty Poets Ferguson Foundation, and everyone involved in the project. And while I'm standing here speaking for Chase, I'd be remiss if I didn't thank the Chase team who did all the behind the scenes work. Henry Tiedemann, Guadalupe Soto Martinez, and Frank Wall. Finally, a very big thank you and congratulations to Mercy Housing and Community Housing Development Corporation, and in particular, Michael Kaplan and Elaine Palacios from Mercy Housing, and Norma Thompson from Joanne Griffin from Community Housing Development Corporation. You worked tirelessly here for so long, and it does not go unnoticed. You are appreciated and you are celebrated, and we are extremely grateful for everything you put into this project and for all you do for our communities. So with that, I'm with the mayor. Give me my hard hat and let's get construction going. Looking forward to the grand opening next year.
Great, thanks, James. Appreciate it. There's just a couple more people to thank. James, I appreciate you calling out Elaine and Joanne and Norma. It's, as I said earlier, Mercy Housing really greatly appreciates the honor of being CHCC's partner on this project. This type of work, there's just so many different elements of it, and Don and his team, I think, have shown incredible leadership, not just on the technical parts of this, but also on the politics and the community side, which I think are really critical to moving something like this hard along. We're often forgetful of the great local government and state government partners that make these possible. We just closed yesterday, and I'll say I didn't have anything to do with it, but I appreciate the hard work that was put in by everybody's teams. But the tremendous work by our State Department of Housing and Community Development, they are big investors in this project, $16.5 million. I want to acknowledge and thank Tarsi Hodge, Leonore Villapondo, and Laura Bateman over at HCD for the great partnerships. I think it's been mentioned earlier that one of the first pieces of money that came into this deal was from Contra Costa County, $1.6 million in CDBG funds. They held on to that commitment through thick and thin. So we want to thank Kristen Shirk and Amalia Cunningham. So Don, unless you have anything else to thank, we're just going to ask everybody to grab a shovel.
Oh, I want to have one more I gotta bring up.
Go, Don.
We do have some council, a couple council member and a former council member for the City of Richmond, Council Member Willis and former Council Member Choi, who worked through this process with us during the process of getting all the funding that we needed to get. They worked tirelessly, and a lot of the other people in the city has been named already. But I did want to make sure folks understood that the council members, along with Mayor Butt, was still driving this force for us and gave us the political will to make this happen.
Thanks, Don. So last but not least, we'll mention our great architects from Payatuck Architects and our general contractor, Nimby Brothers. They're ready to get to work and come by the site and check it out. We're going to be seeing some real transformation in the next few weeks and look forward to being live and in person with all of you sometime soon to open the building and welcome back Richmond residents to this important resource. So with that, thank you so much for spending this brief time with us. As Don said, these are unique virtual groundbreakings, but appreciate the time and look forward to being less virtual with you sometime very soon.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.